Howdy y'all, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to talk about how the content found in chapters 3, 4, and 5 of the text intersect and correlate with ideas I've seen in my own life, to sort of bring these ideas to life. Now this first idea is found pretty early in chapter 3, and it's the idea of continuous self, which is the concept that you are the same person throughout your entire life. You have the same personality, so to speak. You're the same person that starts at kindergarten, and you're the same person that gets married, and you're the same person that dies surrounded by loved ones. I thought this idea was pretty interesting because I feel like I've changed since I've been at college, but at the same time I'm still the same person. I'm a junior here at Laterno, and I feel like I've gone some pretty significant changes over the past 2 years. I feel much more confident in my academic skills, my reading and writing. I feel much better prepared to enter the workforce when I do graduate. I feel just more confident and more responsible, but I still am the same person. I still like to mess around, have some fun, just have some good times. I'm still a little goofy, you know, the same goofy guy that was being stupid back in 7th grade. And that, you know, hasn't really changed, I feel like. So I feel like I have the same personality, but my mind has matured and my ability to handle problems has grown and matured as well. So in that instance, yes, this idea of continuous self does hold true to my life. That I am the same person, I just have higher level skills and abilities. Now, my second point has to do with this idea of epigenetics, which is the whole concept of how your genes intersect with and interact with your environment. Your genes are changed by these epigenetic markers that are caused by different changes in your surroundings. Now this focuses around the example on page 71 about Melia and Kaylee, where Melia is the more beautiful social child and Kaylee is the more plain, less sociable child. Now in this example, there's this idea of a slippery slope, that because Melia is more sociable, she becomes more sociable, and the same is true for Kaylee, that because she is less social, she gains less social skills and it becomes more introverted. Now, I've seen something like this happen in my own life. Now, I was fully homeschooled up until the 7th grade. At that point, I started going to a part-time co-op. So I was out of school 3 days a week. And before then, I was pretty shy. I didn't really go to people very often. But then after that, I was exposed to people more often, and I just became more comfortable around people, I guess. My genes changed in my brain so that I was more social, more ready, and more excited to meet with and interact with people. This goes back to the idea of neuroplasticity, which is really a very useful mechanism in our brains that God put there, that we can adapt to the environment that we're in. That if we're in an environment that requires us to be more social, our brains can change to accommodate that. And it's really a very useful and amazing tool that we have access to. I'm really grateful for that. Now, the next idea I'd like to talk about is the whole nature versus nurture in light of twin studies. Now, scientists are trying to figure out how much of your personality is based off nature and how much is based off nurture, right? So they were looking at twins. In the book, it talks about these two twins, both named Jim, about how they were identical twins, and they led essentially the same life. So in this instance, their genetics played a heavy role in what influenced them. Now this is interesting to me because I'm actually a twin, but I'm a fraternal twin. So we have the same egg but different sperm. So we are genetically distinct people. And I think you can see that pretty clearly here in this picture, that we look very different, and I'm the better looking one for sure. But we have more differences besides that, absolutely. He's a communications major in California, and I'm a biology science major here in Texas. So we have very different academic interests as well. We have different personalities. He's more outgoing than I am, but I'm better at planning stuff and getting stuff done. So we are very different. I mean, people don't even think that we're brothers lots of times. We just look different. He's too ugly. But yeah, that's why this twin study was interesting to me. A couple more ideas here. In chapter 5, it talks about absolute threshold, which is the level at which you'll hear or detect something 50% of the time. When I was in 7th grade biology course, we got to the section on hearing, and some classmate had a phone that could make different pitches of noise, that my brother and I couldn't hear, but everyone else in the class could hear because they were all winning. That was real interesting to me at the time, and it still is, that because of the differences in our genetics, the women could hear the higher pitched sound, but we couldn't. It was well below our absolute threshold of detection. The next idea has to do with adaptation to sensation, that the longer you're around something, you don't really notice it anymore. One time I went to a skate park, indoor skating rink with roller skates, and it smelled horrible. I mean, there were feet and sweaty socks everywhere. It smelled absolutely terrible. But the smell went away after a few minutes, after 20 minutes of being there, which is super nice because then I could enjoy roller skating and all that good stuff. So in that instance, adaptive sensation is real useful because you can learn to ignore different annoying sensations that you're in the environment with. Well, this has been my video. Thanks for watching and have a great week.